For Cleveland, December, yeah, this is a beautiful day. 59 degrees, partly cloudy. We're ready to play some football. Ron Pitts, Mike Martz. And let's go down to the third member of our crew, Chris Devoda, who is standing by. Caught up a few minutes ago with London Fletcher.
It's a homecoming game for London Fletcher, but the focus is all about winning 5 in a row. What is the secret to this team's recent success?
Just guys just playing for each other, not worried about anything else, just going out and executing.
Now your offensive leader, RG3, sidelined today. You have a locker right next to him. What have you said or will you say to him?
You know what? We just got to pick it up for him. He's not here, he's our leader, but other guys got to step up, man, especially the defense today.
Well, London Fletcher certainly knows what it's like to play through injury, and Ron, nobody knows that better than the man standing next to you.
Boy, Chris, you see the look in his eye. He's wired and ready to go. When we lost him to Buffalo, it just took the heart out of our defense and really a big portion of our football team when I was at the Rams. He's obviously one of the top backers in the NFL today and just a real favorite.
238th consecutive game for Fletcher, and there is the man that you will not see active today, RG3. A sprained right lateral collateral ligament in the knee. Took the hit there against the Ravens. Boy, it went right down to the wire, didn't it? He came out this morning and went through quite a workout, but at the end of it all, the Redskins medical staff said, no, sit down. We've got 2 very important division games coming up.
Well, and I think people have to realize that it's not a coaching decision. It's really, as Mike put it, it's a medical decision. You listen to those doctors. They'll make that decision for you. If there's any doubt, then you have to you have to be conservative with that decision.
Dawson kicks away. Royster and Niles Paul back deep. That ball almost out of the end zone. We'll start it at the 20-yard line. And the first NFL start for the other rookie, Kirk Cousins. Came into the game last week through 2 passes. One was a touchdown, and he ran for the 2-point conversion with 29 seconds left. And boy, he almost went to celebrity status just off of 2 plays.
Well, he did. And it's exciting to watch him in a key moment in the game to come off the bench without any preparation and be put in that environment and excel the way he did.
4th-round pick out of Michigan State. A lot of people questioned the decision to draft a second quarterback. And that round, they weren't questioning it after that performance in the win against Baltimore. And this is what he'll rely on a lot today. That's the run game. That's Alfred Morris, the team's leading rusher, over 1,200 yards. He picks up 5 on the first carry. Up front, they're going to go with the rest of the complement. Darrell Young, Joshua Morgan, and Pierre Garçon. Keep your eye on Garçon. He can make some big plays for you on the perimeter. Don't forget, Santana Moss still floats around there as well. The offensive line has not had an injury, has not changed. The same starting 5 all season long. They will bring a heavy dose of the zone play. That's the zone stretch scheme, and we've got movement early. Look like the left guard.
Well, and what Cleveland's going to find out right away, whether or not
offense, number 78, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Bill Vinovich
and
for first call.
They're coming off the field with pressure right away. They started this game with their signature stretch play, and they're going to find out if there's any kind of a bootleg or play action. Obviously, they felt like they may throw it. They're going to test this young quarterback, Kirk Cousins, to find out just what he's made of against pressure.
Downhill to Morris again. Morris out close to the 25-yard line. A pickup of 5. Bill Taylor on the tackle. The Browns defense, they started off sluggish. The last half of the season here, they have picked it up. Sheard, along with Rucker, 4 sacks apiece.
And wrong with that defensive front, they rotate guys in about every second or third play. So their starters are fresh throughout that game and get better at the end of the game. I think it's a very important part of their success.
First 3rd down of the day, 3rd and 5. The pocket, throws, incomplete. Tried to check it down on the crosser there to Royster. The coverage was solid, and the Redskins will have their first punt of the day.
Well, you can see here, he's not going to step up like you'd like him to. You're going to get these edges like this, and you, as a quarterback, young quarterback, you've got to step up into that pocket and get into a passing lane. He can't sit back there at that 10 yards. It's going to get pressured by those ends.
Rocca will punt it away to Joshua Cribbs. Cribbs at the 25, makes a cut and got blasted Another flag down as Cribbs got out to about the 32-yard line. 2 flags already here, as we'll check in once again with Bill Vinovich. The Redskins lead the NFL in penalties. 50 yards on the punt, 7 yards on the return, but this will be against the Browns.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 23. 10-yard penalty. Cleveland keeps the ball. First down.
That's the starting corner, Joe Hayden. As you look at Pat Shurmur, and Shurmur talked about how he talked to his team at about the bye week break and said, listen, we got a lot of rookies on this team, a lot of first-year players. Guess what? You're not rookies anymore. We need you guys to step up and start making an impact. And it starts with that guy right there, Brandon Weeden, the rookie at quarterback. He'll take over. First play, first pass. Up high, but he came down with it. That was a high one to Ben Watson, the longtime New England Patriot, hit by Fletcher.
You take a look at Brandon Weeden, and we kind of mentioned that offensive line, but Ron, you and I talked, this is the best offensive line we've seen this year, and he has clean feet. He did there. He had terrific room to step up and make that throw, and when a quarterback has that kind of room, you can make those tight throws, and he's a guy that with that cannon and with that kind of accuracy.
Pick number 22 overall out of Oklahoma State. A little on the old side, 29 years old. That's because he plays baseball. Coming out of high school. They'll get the first down with the guy that runs the ball very well for them this year. Another rookie, that's Trent Richardson. He picks up 4.
And you take a look at these receivers. The guy that's really come up is Josh Gordon. He's stepped forward and averaging about 17 yards a catch, I believe, and really making the big plays downfield for him. My favorite in that line, Sean Laval. I tell you what, if you were ever in a ruckus, you want this guy on your side. Pound for pound, one of the most physical guys I've seen this year.
The rookie out of Cal, right tackle, Mitchell Schwartz, has had a very solid year. Empty backfield, tipped up. Sean Kerrigan and wisely hustling to try to get on that ball. That's a nice play.
You know, and a little bit of that's inexperience on the quarterback's part. When you throw that screen, if he's clean like that, you give him a little shoulder shrug, or you have to move to get it over around him. But you just see so many of those by young quarterbacks get tipped or blocked, and it really shouldn't be. Redskins
defense, a 3-4 look, 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers. They had issues in the secondary. They were ranked 31 in the NFL in pass defense. They may be tested. Fake the reverse, give straight ahead. Richardson bouncing out, and Richardson close to midfield with another Browns first down.
You know, one of the impressive things when you look at him is his leg drive and ability to explode through arm tackles. And then, you know, the one thing that we added when we looked at it is if he could just get his shoulder pad level down, and he will in time, it'll even get better. And he's going to come out of some of that stuff even better than what he did there.
That was good for 14 yards. Richardson, the number 3 overall pick out of Alabama, coming up with a big play. Middle of the field, pushed it to the outside, intended for Josh Gordon. That's another rookie, but the coverage was there. Josh Wilson.
You know what? That's rookie to rookie. That's, hey, we trust you. It's early in the game. Let's go get one. You got to love the aggressiveness of that and the confidence in both those rookies to strike on that big play. He just, adrenaline's going a little bit right now in a big game like this for Brandon. He's just got to get himself under a little bit more control.
Watson sets up in the backfield, straight power play. No place for Richardson. The defense is all over it, led by Jarvis Jenkins.
And this offensive line has got a job cut out. The way they play this defense, that's a 3-2 defense or 34 defense. You got 5 guys inside the tackles, basically. So you almost don't have enough blockers, and it's such a tight space there. But you have to do what they did and stick your nose in there just to make sure. But I think most of the time this running game is going to be on the edge.
3rd and 10. Delayed snap penalty.
Ball start. Offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Yeah, they put it on the center, Alex Mack.
Well, and I think, you know, he's involved with calling protections, and he saw the pressure coming off the left side. And so what Brandon's got to do is change his tempo just a little bit. They're communicating over there, and the center made the call, and he's trying to make them aware. But I promise you, he saw it out there anyway. He didn't have to go through all that.
Pressure off the side. Wheaton steps up. He's going to go for his. And he gets out of bounds at about midfield. Fletcher all over it. A 4-yard pickup, well shy of the first down. And the Browns will have to punt. The crowd wanting a late hit out of bounds. And Fletcher, who's from the area, went to John Carroll University, says, nah.
Well, they're real tight in coverage. He steps up, but he just does not have a clean receiver. I think he may have a chance for a check down, but he's been very conservative here in the last month and does not try and fit those tight throws in there. And sometimes that's not all that good, but he's not turning the ball over, and that's the point.
So Reggie Hodges will punt it away at the 40, try to kill this one inside the 10. It'll be taken at the 10. Crawford with a great return at the end of the game last week. Doesn't quite turn the corner on this one. Gets it out just past the 22. 40-yard punt, 12-yard return. Redskins offense coming up. 0-0 here in Cleveland. And a look at RG3. Tried to come out pre-game warm-ups and really tested the knee, but the medical staff of the Redskins saying, nope, sit this one out. It is Kirk Cousins' first NFL start. They'll throw on first down, the curl route, and it's well covered, knocked away. Joe Hayden working on Pierre Garçon. And this was Robert Griffin III this morning. He didn't just come out and get loose. He really went after to try to work that knee out.
Well, part of it is trying to state his case, I think, to Mike Shanahan, you know, before they declare the inactive. He's trying to politic a little bit, but it's really, it's not, you know, Mike takes it out of his hands and puts it in the medical staff. It's right where it should be. So I just think it was done very properly in the way you need to do it.
Son! 180! What is up?
2nd and 10, looking for the cutback is Morris. The Browns defense will have none of it. DeQuell Jackson is there to wrap it up, but Philip Taylor may have caused the big jam up, a loss of 1.
Well, and Philip Taylor's playing so well, but you can see them bump down in here. They brought the secondary off the backside, and when you come through those gaps and slant on that play towards the side that they're running, it's almost impossible to make those cutoff blocks. And I think you can see the defense you'll see the defense for Cleveland be more active with pressures than they have all year.
3rd and 10. He's got time, throws, up high, picked off T.J. Ward. This one's got a chance to go to the house. Stopped at the 5-yard line by Cousins. Tipped by Sheldon Brown.
Now, the hardest thing for any rookie quarterback is to put the ball and beat man-to-man, or real tight man-to-man coverage here. And I don't know that it was a great route here. The defender got underneath it, and you've got to make that throw when it's one-on-one. I think he did a good job with the throw. He went to the right guy. It really ends up being the receiver having to beat that corner one-on-one. And now you got to tell that young quarterback, Cousins makes a tackle here. Now you got a rookie quarterback. You got to calm down the sideline. Hey, kid, listen. Made a hell of a throw. Everything was good. Don't worry about it. You did the right thing.
First interception of the year for both Cousins and T.J. Ward. Browns, great field position. There's Richardson. Richardson still driving. I think he's in. They signal touchdown.
And this is something that we said at the top, where just got to manage it and avoid these turnovers. Good plan by Dick Duran to play real tight man and force a rookie to make an exceptional throw. It's hard for either one of these rookies when you get that kind of coverage to put the ball where you need to. And I thought he did. They just need to do a better job on that route.
And with that run, Richardson breaking the team record for most rushing touchdowns by a rookie running back in a single season. He's now at 10. And guess who he surpassed? That's the great Jim Brown. Shows you the kind of year that Richardson has had. Extra point is clean. And Coach, we talked about this. Don't look at the Browns' record. Don't come in here and take them lightly. It's all about turnovers, an area where the Redskins had previously been very solid. 7-0 Cleveland. 7-0 game thanks to the interception. And Richardson, as we mentioned, now with 10 rushing touchdowns, the most by a rookie running back in franchise history, eclipsing the great Jim Brown. That ball out of the end zone, and Niles Paul just watching.
Well, take a look at him, lower his shoulder pad here, Ron. That's running behind your pads right there.
So now we'll see if the rookie can settle down here. Cousins will get us going again here at the 20-yard line. Looking cutback, Morris, no place to go. He may have lost on the play. Let's go back and look at that touchdown once again.
Boy, take a look at this offensive line. Here's the line of scrimmage. Watch what happens. They move this and reestablish it way up here. Now watch what Richardson does here. His pad level is going to get down right there. And really, that's what was missing when you watched him earlier in the season. He's very upright. Now he looks like a guy who's learned his lesson. And what we said earlier on his first run, he's running through stuff where he's used to get held up on.
Richardson and Morris, both from the same area, Pensacola, Florida, have known each other since youth football. But Morris taking the hits here. That's DeQuell Jackson, caught him turned around. No gain on the last play, a pick up a 4 there, Coach.
And you got to do some crisis management with this quarterback. I think you take him over in the sideline and let him understand that, you know, we just didn't get open on this thing, but you can never ask a quarterback to see if a wide receiver downfield is going to be open on man-to-man before you throw it. That ball's got to get out there fast. So it's up to his receivers. They're clamping down his receivers on third down and doing a great job.
Boy, a very different start in his action last week against Baltimore. This is 3rd and 6 and pressure. And a sack. Sheared off the corner for 5 sacks on the year. He was clean.
Well, and I tell you what, he dropped his shoulder. We asked him about the bull rush, and this is what he does so well. Watch him right there drop his shoulder and go right through and get his arm underneath that pad. Just a little change of tempo on that rush. He wasn't sure, a little bit of a wiggle. A very effective move.
That was Tyler Columbus. He beat around the corner. Rocca. This will be Cribbs just inside the 30. No place to go. Great coverage by the Redskins special teams. Brian Keel with the hustle. More of the other rookies. Richardson coming up. RG3 along with Cousins, Grossman, and Kyle Shanahan, the offensive coordinator, trying to figure things out. RG3 told us last night, he said, hey, this is my team, and I've told the team that I wanted to play, but the choice is out of my hands. This is 1st and 10 for the Browns. Browns with an early interception, controlling this one, an early movement. Looked like the left side, Joe Thomas.
Ball start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Well, and I think what they're trying to take advantage of is some hard count. You could hear him hit that first cut and then soften it up. And, you know, rookie quarterbacks, you got to get used to their hard count because they change it a little bit more. It's got to be the same all the time.
Second penalty on the Browns today. Both false starts, very uncharacteristic for the home team. Pressure, Wheaton gets it out. Won't be much of a gain, maybe 1 yard. The pressure there about Dowdy. And right now, let's go out to Los Angeles. Our first game break of the day. Here's Kurt Menefee.
All right, Giants at Atlanta. Falcons have had the ball on offense twice, scored touchdowns both times. Got a 12-yarder. Matt Ryan hooking up with Tony Gonzalez, and they're on top 14-0 still in the first quarter. Ron and Mike.
Kurt,
All right, Kurt.
I caught your action in the pregame there. Quarterback, you got no future there, Kurt. You got no future as a quarterback. Sorry.
Atlanta will clinch a first-round bye with a win and a Green Bay loss or tie on second down there. That's Hardesty. Maybe 2.
Now, I think you have to come out against this defense like they're doing and test the waters up inside. And that's, of course, that's how they scored their touchdown. And it's really about being really physical and moving that line of scrimmage. But the alignments on Washington makes it very difficult to go inside the tackles. I wouldn't be surprised now if they start getting on the edge outside, and whether it's pitches or power plays off the tackle.
This is a 3rd and 11. The pocket is clean. The coverage is great. D'Angelo Hall all over it. And the Browns will have to punt it away.
And you can hear the hard count there. I think even home they did a great job picking it up on the audio. And you hear him say, hut, hut. And that's the hard count. You hit the first hut real hard and try to get him to jump. Now, they've been doing that, and they're just not used to his cadence, I think. It'll take some time.
Greg Little with the catch. Hall battling a bad ankle. Nice coverage on that one. Richard Crawford back deep. Redskins look like they're trying to rush this one. Don't quite get there, and a great punt by Hodges. This one goes into the end zone. A 58-yard punt. That is Hodges' longest of the season. The rookie quarterback trying to find his rhythm. Not a good start. The Browns on the other side, they're trying to get their act together. Their quarterback coach, Mark Whipple, talking things over. Ball spotted on the 20. The toss. Morris, he got a block. Boy, great scrape down the line. A lot of guys would have broke that out of the backside, but Philip Taylor is right there, and he holds the gain to 2 yards.
Well, Philip is off to a terrific start. He is sideline to sideline.
Cousins with his 3rd interception of the season. Boy, and look at the difference in the amount of attempts and picks. It's all about turnovers, isn't it?
But I think this last turnover, I got to tell you, I think the Redskins, they've changed up on defense. The Browns have changed up and played way more man than what they prepared for. Tight man. They're more of a zone team. It's really hurting.
You can see the press coverage at the bottom there. Look at Joe Hayden. Play action, trying to freeze people, going deep. Looking for Garcon. They trip. And that's incidental contact, tangling up on the feet. Garcon is saying, where is it?
Hey, I tell you what, he grabbed him about the 50-yard line, and if his jersey was rubbery, he snapped him clear to Bakersfield, California. I tell you what, that was an obvious holding, I thought. Watch him right about here, grab his jersey with his left arm, and you're not going to run away from him. He was beat. I think they missed that. See, he has his jersey, and I just think they kind of missed that one. I like the call.
Third and 8. Took his eyes off of it. Evan Royster, I don't know if he heard footsteps, but it'll be 4th down and time to punt.
Well, one of the things with young quarterbacks is when you're throwing that ball underneath like that on a check down, you can't change your motion. You can tighten your stroke, but you can't have a slow motion. You lose your accuracy. You just throw it like you do always. You just are a little bit tighter with it. And when you do that, you're going to underthrow things.
Redskins 4 possessions, no first downs, and a total of 7 yards. Cousins 1 for 6 for 4 yards and a pick. Not a good start. 7-0. Cleveland will take over at about the 25. Richardson makes one miss. And then the posse comes.
You said it right.
Williams.
He said it right, posse. There's 10 guys on that line of scrimmage by the time he had the ball in his hand. They committed them all up there. You're going to see these bootlegs. You just see Brandon Whedon come out of here pretty quick throwing some drags because they are absolutely flying to the ball.
The 45th matchup between these two teams. The Browns holding the lead 33-10 and 1 tie. The Redskins, though, have won 5 of the last 7. Playoff implications for both teams. The Browns struggling to stay in it still alive. The Redskins trying to keep pace of the first place New York Giants. And there's a hit in the backfield and a loss on the play by the man, London Fletcher. Over 150 tackles this season alone. That's a loss of 6 on Richardson.
When we talked to London last night, we asked him why he was able to play so long. He says, well, you know, I take care of my body and all that thing. But he said, you know what, Coach? I'm playing all this man-to-man. I got to run now all the time.
Born and raised here in the Cleveland area. He said, but this is my first game as a pro back here in Cleveland. 15 years in the league. Never played one here. This is 3rd and long. No protection in the backfield. They protected up front, though. And trying to go to the corner. Looked like the receiver stopped there. That was Mohamed Massaquoi over his head, and they'll have to punt it away.
And Jim Haslett showed 8 blitzers or 7 blitzers up there and then ran everybody out of there playing with that rookie quarterback. Good job there by London Fletcher and that defensive unit getting them off the field. And the comment he made in the opening was, you know what, we got to pick up the slack. RG's not here, and they're certainly doing that on defense.
58-yarder last time out for Hodges. Doesn't quite get this one, maybe half the distance. And the negative roll, that's a good roll.
Take a look at
good field position for the Redskins.
Boy, take a look at this comparison with Ray Lewis over the years. The numbers are really almost equal in a lot of these really important categories. I think he's quietly had just a fantastic career, and for my money, he should have been in 7 or 8 Pro Bowls, and I think he's got 2 or whatever it is, but he certainly is 3 Pro Bowls, but he's certainly played at a high level ever since he came into the league.
238th consecutive game play that ties only one other guy for the longest active streak, and that's Rondé Barber down in Tampa. The bootleg, getting him on the edge, going into triple coverage, it's caught! And that's a touchdown. Nobody contacted him. Leonard Hankerson rolled on in 54 yards, and the Redskins are finally on the board.
And you have to appreciate the accuracy of this throw on the run, and you also have to appreciate the call. After basically a couple of real tough series for Cousins, they come back and make this call, and he had a nice guy underneath there for about a 10-yard gain, and he put that thing the only place he could have put. Just a fantastic throw down the field on the move. Watch it between 3 defenders. You couldn't put it in a better spot. It's impossible. You can see why Mike Shanahan likes this young quarterback so much.
Hankerson, second-year man out of Miami, the 3rd-round pick last season, comes up with a huge play.
You know, and one of the things when we talked to their offense staff, his name kept coming up. You know, that this is a guy that you look out for because he's got that speed downfield that is so vital to what they do.
This play is under review as standard operating procedure in the NFL this year. After a touchdown, all touchdown scoring plays will be automatically reviewed. The question is, was he taken down? Was he touched at all? I didn't see him contacted from that angle. Did you, Coach?
No, I think this thing's going to stand. I don't think they touched him, and when he had the football, when he had possession of it, I just don't think the defender had any contact with him.
A key game for the Redskins here. We have talked about that a couple times already. Maybe the best chance for a playoff spot for the Redskins, maybe to just go ahead and win the East. They currently are the 3rd seed for the wild card behind the top 2 picks, Chicago and Seattle, knotted at 8-5. Strength of schedule will be big and could be in the Redskins' favor as they face only one current winning team coming into today's game from here on out. But, Coach, as we talked about, this was one of those maybe trap games as you look at the playoff picture there, because you just look at the Browns and you say, it's hard to get up for the Browns the same way you'd get up for an NFC East team if you're the Redskins.
Well, I think there's a lot to that. I think you make a good point there, but one of the things as a football coach is you look at, particularly as a head coach, you look at the defense and how well they come along, and no matter what you say to the guys, they're
after
still going to
reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The receiver was not contacted after he gained possession. Touchdown.
Bill Benetich's crew all over it. That is a touchdown. And the second of the season for Hankerson.
But what I love about this play call is they didn't back off with Cousins at all. In fact, they got more aggressive.
Yeah. Horvath, who has been solid and won it in overtime last week, tacks on the extra, and just like that, we're tied up here in Cleveland, winding down in the first.
And take a look at Cousins here. There's a different feel in that sideline. I promise you, there's a confidence now that, you know, our guy can get it done. He can do the same kinds of things in the passing game that RG3 does, and he certainly did there. You know, you got to appreciate on the move a quarterback like that, making that throw, putting it between three defenders. Now, if he misses it, you're going to tell him you should have checked it down. But the confidence that he has, he wasn't shaken by any of this stuff. He went out there and he dodged the eye of that ball, that's for sure.
Cousins forte coming out of Michigan State. Touchdown passes, 66. When he left, that was a state school record. He averaged 2 a game. He pops one here after a slow start. On the run here, this is Cribbs, and Cribbs is blasted at the 23. Nice hit there. Lorenzo Alexander applying the wax. And going back to our college days, well, how about this one on January 4th? One of the best bowl games of the year is on Fox as Johnny Heisman Manziel, the first freshman Heisman Trophy winner, leads 9th-ranked Texas A&M against number 11 Oklahoma. The AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic is January 4th, right here and only here on Fox. The quick slant, it's tipped coming out. Intended for Josh Gordon. Rob Jackson got a piece of it. Let's go back and look at that special teams hit. It just brings up the discussion this past week. Commissioner Roger Goodell down at the December owners meeting bringing up the idea of maybe taking out kickoffs altogether, trying to improve the safety of the league. I'm not sure I'm on board with that. That's part of the essence of football right there.
Well, you know what my vote is. And then everybody was healthy and they'd have to walk off. So.
2nd and 10, plenty of time. Has to hit the check down, and then the check down is hit hard by Rob Jackson.
You know, the only thing that bothered me about Brandon, and maybe it's a result of some of the turnovers, Brandon Whedon, is the turnovers early in the season maybe made him a little bit cautious. He's reluctant at times on tape to take that ball down the field and fit it in some tight spots like we saw Kirk Cousins do. So maybe he's coached to do that. Maybe it's a reaction to some of the early turnovers. I don't know, but well, he's passed up some opportunities downfield.
Well, his numbers were dismal. 3rd and 9, he's got his crosser. His crosser will have the first down. That's Josh Gordon, but a flag is down. Wilson able to trip him up, but let's check the flag.
Illegal use of the hands. Hands in the face. Defense number 99. Penalties declined. Result of the play. First down.
That's Jarvis Jenkins, who replaced Adam Carricker, who went on the injured reserve list back in week 3.
Well, you just don't need that. And again, we made the point earlier, Ron, that most penalized team yardage-wise in the league right now, you just don't need that in these situations. Let this team get a little bit more momentum.
That's a pickup of 10. 2 tight ends set now for the Browns. They'll set one back in the backfield. They'll go power game, stretching it out. No place to go. Kerrigan all over it. Boy, it's hard to get that edge in the NFL. And Coach, let's talk about the notebook you've got on Brandon Whedon.
Well, there's a couple things about Brandon that you need to look at. I think he's very mature at 29 years old. There's a leadership quality about him because he's been in baseball for 6 years. And the only thing I question is the decision-making sometimes. You want to be a little bit more aggressive. And what I don't know is he accurate under pressure? You know, is he going to make those throws down the field and get hit like the really good ones do?
Drafted by the New York Yankees right out of high school, played for 6 years in the minors. Didn't work out, and that throw didn't work out. Way high. Intended for Watson.
Well, and I think when you have tight man like that, you've got to be able to put the ball downfield and let your receivers make a play and not come off it like you did and just check it down into the flat. Unless that receiver's getting doubled, you get a wide receiver out there, you got to assume he's going to win on that route. And you just see that too much in man-to-man with him, just not taking those throws and putting it on the shoulders of the wide receivers. These are good young wide receivers.
I saw a quick shot there of Colt McCoy. They asked Colt to sit down starting the season and gave the job to Wheaton. There's 9 throw. That's complete to Alex Smith, but Alex Smith hit hard by Hall. He goes down just shy of the first down. He picked up 7. As we wind it down here in Cleveland, we've got a tie game, 7-7. Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Start the second quarter. Richard Crawford back deep for the Redskins, the 7th-round pick out of SMU. At the 64-yarder in overtime. Huge play that really set the Redskins up for the game-winning field goal. And don't miss the epic 2-night finale only on the X Factor. First on Wednesday, the final 3 face off live for your vote. Then on Thursday, some of the biggest names in music perform live. Plus, find out who wins the $5 million prize. The X Factor 2-night season finale is live this Wednesday and Thursday on Fox.
Boy, you can just feel the enthusiasm. Pitch around when these guys took the field. It's different than those first series in the conference that they've got in Kirk Cousins.
The swing pass outside to Garcon. And Hayden is there for the tackle. He picked up about 4.
But take a look at Kirk Cousins here today. Off to kind of a tough start here. Missed some throws and then arguably had some situations where maybe the receiver could have helped him more. But you got to love the way he came back, and that's a measure of a good quarterback. Go through a myriad of bad things and come out and still make plays, and that's a toughness that you're looking for in that position.
The first pick led to a touchdown by Richardson of 6 yards. Then he hit Hankerson, as you just saw in that 54-yard touchdown. Tucks it, play action. He's got his crosser. That's Darrell Young. And Young with a nice pickup. Let's go out to Los Angeles. Update time. Here's Kirk.
Well, like the teams in your game, the St. Louis Rams are hot right now. They won 3 straight today against Minnesota. Nice catch by Brian Quick. 4-yard score. They're all tied at 7 apiece as the Rams try to make it 4 wins in a row. And Mike Martz, you found Kurt Warner in NFL Europe. I know you could find a spot for me. Come on.
No, we didn't miss you. We know right where you are, Kurt. And it's not quarterback, sorry.
We got you well slotted, Kirk. Don't worry. We'll have our agent call you. A pickup of 8 on the last play. And the first. Boy, Moore is just bouncing off that hit. You know, he walked into the meeting room last night, coaching. You almost had to look at him twice and say, wow, this is an NFL running back. Very slight shoulder-wise. And you wonder, where does he get that size and that girth?
But just take a look at his thighs. You know, all those running backs, when you take a look at his hips and his thighs, they're very, very strong. And he can, you know, that's balance and strength to run through arm tackles and get hit in the upper body and still keep your feet like you just did.
Listed at 5'10", 218, and 6th-round pick out of Florida Atlantic. Play action, hot one inside, and that's caught. Garcon. And Garcon, boy, he is really the money man.
You know, and this is so hard for a young quarterback to turn your back to the line of scrimmage with a play fake like he's doing here. You can see him turn his back right there and then come back and then find that receiver and hit him on a dead run. Very difficult. Not a lot of veterans can do that. A lot of veterans just want to be in that pocket and throw it, and not comfortable turning their back like that. But Kurt put that thing right between the numbers like he's supposed to. Just a real fine play by him.
Working against a former NFC East foe, Sheldon Brown. 1st and 10. And stopped in the backfield. Ward shaping up with a nice day here. He's already got an interception now with a tackle.
Well, I think what you're seeing is the Browns have said, we're going to eliminate the running game. We're not going to let you beat us with a run. We're going to try and stop that as much as we can, and if you're going to beat us, it's going to be with that young quarterback. And I think you start there. You have to start there with the production that they've had in the, the #1 rushing team in the league right now. So obviously you have to start there, and they're doing a good job right now against the run.
A loss of 1 on the play.
What is that?
Pressure, he took a hit, dumps it off to Logan Paulson.
And Ron, this is what you want to see out of Brandon Whedon, is this type of play where you're going to get hit and make that throw while you're in the grasp. Or watch this, comes off this play fake. Now you're going to get hit. You know you're going to get hit, and you know it's going to hurt. But you stick the ball right on the receiver. And in these last 2 series, this young quarterback has been very impressive.
That was Craig Robertson. A pickup of 3, 3rd and 8. Browns showing a form of cover 2. I don't know if Garcon got it. He looks to be about a full yard shy of the 1st down.
Well, take a look at him set on this thing. He kind of double clutches it here, and I think because he did that, he got his feet spread out and slipped. They keep your feet up underneath you.
Ball thrown behind him too there.
Well, I think he misread a little bit. They showed him something and bailed out. They showed him men and bailed out of it, and so he had to hold it a little bit.
Coach, you like the call here? 4th and 1, they're going for it.
Yes, I do. It's going to be a tight game. You're playing for the playoffs. You just let it all go.
This is the old dummy play.
It's called no play timeout or no play penalty.
And the timeout called by the Redskins.
Boy, I had a great meal there at that restaurant, Crop Bistro and Bar. Anytime you get a meal like that, you want to fly in for that. What we had, Ron, it was outstanding.
Redskins 11 of 15 on 4th down this season. Movement. Lichtensteiger went early.
Ball start. Offense. Number 78. 5-yard penalty. Go 4th down.
And anytime you have 2 quarterbacks back-to-back like that in 2 different games, the offensive line's got to get used to the cadence of the other quarterback. You want those guys to be as similar as possible, but when they're both rookies, there's going to be a big disparity at times, and they've just got to get used to that.
Redskins coming into today's game leading the NFL in penalties, averaging 8 per game, and that is a costly one. Rocca will try to kill this one inside the 20. Not a good kick. Cribbs with the fair catch. A huge gain for the Redskins. They are chasing the Giants, and right now the Giants are trailing the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta 17-zip, so that's good for the Redskins, but the Redskins need to worry about their house, and their house is a tie game here in Cleveland.
Yeah, no question, right? You can't worry about that, obviously, during this game, but what a big surprise here. Atlanta jumping all over the Giants.
The Giants up by 1 game, 8-5 to the Redskins 7-6. Hardesty in the backfield. Whedon, he has been off. We talked about on the other side, Cousins being off, but Whedon throwing that ball well behind Josh Gordon on the slant.
Well, what I don't like is he's just not confident against tight men, and that's what the Redskins do. He kind of double clutch the ball. When you go to release that ball, you got to nail it with as much confidence as possible and just throw the best ball you can. But he is very tentative on some of those throws. You've got to turn that ball loose.
Holding again, and that's what happened. Ball batted down. Coach, you just teed that up. You've seen it all week long in film.
Well, he just kind of doesn't give guys the chance down the field as much as I think sometimes he really can. And you want him to hitch once, hitch twice. That ball has to be gone. There's 3 hitches before he goes to throw it. that ball has to be out there by your second hitch, or you better move around the pocket or run with it or throw it away. But you stand back there and hitch, and what I mean is hitch. After you set, your hop, your 3 little hop steps in there, those are called hitches. You go past 2 steps, it's bad.
That was Doug Worthington. Got a hand on it. 3rd and 10. Redskins showing a cover 2 deep safeties. He's got to hit his check down. All they got to do is make a tackle. And they do. He lunged forward, but still about 1.5 yards shy of the first. That was Massaquoi. A pickup of 9 won't be enough. They'll punt it away.
Well, and as you can see, the pressure off the edge is what gets him here with Alexander. And really, had he tightened his lane down on the pass rush lane, probably would have ended up with a sack there.
Renzo Alexander with the pressure. Crawford at the 18, dancing. Music stops at the 21. 51 yards on the punt, 5 yards on the return. Batamosi with the tackle.
Boy, you take a look at this graphic on Kirk Cousins, 6 for 6 here lately. Reminds you of Terry Bradshaw. He come out and have a bad player too and come back and catch fire, and that's a great one for sure. And Kirk has really been impressive that way.
The half roll setting up. Didn't have what he wanted deep, but he's got a man underneath. That's Joshua Morgan, the team's leading receiver, with a nice pickup on 1st down. He got 6. Let's go down to Chris Dabota.
Ron, when the Redskins announced their quarterback decision, RG3 responded on social media by saying, "The decision was not my own, but I will be there for my team in every way I possibly can." He told us he plans on being the best cheerleader on the bench you've ever seen, and he has been, talking not just to Kirk Cousins, but engaging the offensive line and the receivers after every series.
And that's what you'd expect from him. I mean, that's the only way you can't be. And you got to appreciate his competitiveness and how badly he wants to play. But
Redskins showing a lot of bootleg here, and Cousins showing his speed as he'll run for the 1st down and then some.
KC1, I guess you start calling him, huh?
That's a good one, yeah. A pickup of 17.
Yes, he did. He looked a little bit RG, didn't he, huh? But, you know, one thing that I like about this is, number one, they've gotten away from the drop back on 1st and 2nd down. And obviously the Browns are taking away the run first and foremost. So when you show the run and get the quarterback back out on the edge, there's all kinds of room out there. And I would imagine you can see more of that.
And the first official rush for Cousins. And it's a good one. Look for the stretch play. That's Moore, and Morris will get about 2.
And they're not going to let him run that stretch play. They're lined up to take that thing away. Take a look at RG3. Leads the NFL in passer rating. The yards per pass attempt for me has always, other than the turnover ratio, that and the yards per pass attempt is the biggest indicator. If you get over 8, that is just absolutely outstanding. And then the rushing yards. So he is playing at such a high level as a rookie. It's just, I didn't realize, because I never studied him on tape until this week. I knew he was good, but I just never could have appreciated until I studied him how good he really is.
Boy, he had one in the middle of the field, but he goes to the numbers, and that's Garcon. He had 2 on the cross there. He had Santana Moss, but let's see if they call. No, it is not a catch. And Garcon saying, let's review it. Right now, let's go out to Los Angeles and check in with Kurt Menefee.
Well, the Chicago Bears were up 7-0 on Green Bay, that is, until James Jones caught this one from Aaron Rodgers. 29 yards in the score, even things at 7 apiece as they begin to wind down the 2nd quarter. Ron and Mike.
And of course, Jordy Nelson's out. He's, that hamstring, so great opportunity for James Jones to show up in that game.
Green Bay with a win will clinch the NFC North. That started out Chicago's deal, but they have slowly let it fall through their fingers.
And I think right now, for both these quarterbacks,
and we got
Washington
a challenge.
is ruling the challenge on the field of an incomplete pass. Timeout.
So the last play under review. It looks like Garcon talked coach into it. Oh, from that angle, the ball never hit the ground.
That's a good argument. But it looked to me like, you know, he had his hand flat on the ground, the back of his hand, and the ball came off of his hand, and as long as it touched the ground, that's fine. I can't really see right there. It looks like that hand is right there, and it looks like the ball touched the hand and came up, and that...
After reviewing the play, ruling on the field stands, incomplete pass.
I'm not sure I see it.
I guess if it touches any part of the ground, then it's not a catch, but from our angle, it just kind of looked, it's so far away, but see if his right hand, the back of his hand isn't flat on the ground, and then the ball hits the top of his hand there, but obviously they felt that was not the case, and if it touches the ground at all, it's incomplete.
Well, if he doesn't control it and it touches the ground, that's incomplete.
Yeah, if he has it and then goes to the ground, but I think it hit the ground before he even got it there, obviously.
That's a 22-yard swing, and it's 3rd down and 9. Pressure backside, he gets it off. That's complete to Royster, and Royster makes up for the yardage and then some.
Well, what he did so well here, Kirk Cousins, is it was a shorter throw, and he didn't zap it on him, and he didn't short on it, so to speak. He made a real good throw, but it was a soft throw that the receiver could run through. Bill Walsh used to say, put it out there in front and let him run through the football, and that's exactly what he did.
He beat Jackson on that crosser. That's the first 3rd down conversion of the day for the Redskins.
A little surprised at all the man-to-man that the Browns play. It's a little bit unusual for them. I think they're really trying to challenge the young quarterback.
I expect them to go back to the run game now. Nope. They're sticking with the play action. Across the body late, not advised. Pressure coming on the play from Frosty Rucker.
Well, he had Leonard Hankerson made a crossing move and took off the middle, right between the uprights. He just couldn't get him the ball, but he had him for a touchdown run. And I think with this running game, as committed as the Browns are on defense, is shutting that run down. I think this is where they're going to make their money, is out on the perimeter, showing run and either pulling up in the pocket in front or come out in those bootlegs, which he's been so effective on.
Well, he picked up the bootleg action midway through the first and here into the second. The give to Morris, and Morris straight ahead for 3. Win with the tackle.
But when you look at them on defense, they've got them all up and around or near that line of scrimmage here, trying to shut that run down and just begging him to try and throw it out there to those wide receivers. And they've started that way and really stayed with it, because this is normally a 2-deep type of zone team with quarters or half field cover 2 back there, but they've played an awful lot of man today.
3rd and 7, shotgun formation. They stack Moss down at the bottom along with Garcon. That one way off.
Well, he didn't. I put that on Kirk, because it's man-to-man, and what they do is they bracket the releases of those receivers. Receiver was able to get underneath the inside player here, the inside defender. You're going to see he's going to end up, there's another defender right back there. He got underneath this guy right there, and as long as he gets underneath them, then you can make that throw. And I couldn't quite see. He's clean with it. There's just a miscommunication there. And really, once you get inside that defender, there's no squirming or sitting it down. You make the throw and let him cross.
The man who won it in overtime last week, he has been solid. Forbath from 44 yards out. He continues solid. And the Redskins take a 3-point lead.
Take a look at RG3 here, come over to Kirk Cousins and gives him the pat in the shoulder. Kirk knows he missed a nice, easy 3rd down completion there. They got him 1st down, and he's upset with himself. RG saw it. He knows exactly what happened, and it's good to have that sounding board and communicate between them. That's a very, very, very important relationship on your football team. The 1st and 2nd quarterback, where those 2 guys share, their experiences out there.
Still a nice drive, 9 plays, 51 yards. The first lead of the day for the Redskins. And they're working on 10 unanswered points. This one deep in the end zone, about 8 yards deep. Cribbs, the franchise leader in kickoff returns for touchdowns out to the 25. The UFC on Fox continues December 28th on Fuel TV with live weigh-ins for UFC 155, and December 29th with the UFC 155 prelims on FX. Saturday, January 26th, the UFC will be back here on Fox as Rampage Jackson returns to the octagon, and flyweight Demetrius Johnson puts his title on the line against John Dodson. Fox Sports, your home for UFC action all year long.
And I think you can probably see these guys come out and get some play action now. They tried to run that ball and get some drop back stuff going, but I think sooner or later they need to get to the same things that the Skins are doing.
And Wheaton has been holding the ball, been getting him in trouble. The penalty flag went out really before he even threw the football. That one intended there for Massaquoi.
Offside. Defense number 56. Lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Perry Riley.
And Massaquoi, those are easy throws, hits you right between. You got to come up with those plays. No telling. You break a tackle man-to-man on slant plays, those are out the gate.
And this is a West Coast offense in base. You mentioned.
And the slant route is the basis. You start with a slant route in that offense.
Back to the ground, and Richardson, haven't seen him in a while. They got away from that, and Richardson goes back. He's going to lose on that.
And Mike Shanahan's got to be just beside himself with these penalties. You just really have to get your team at halftime refocus on that issue. You cannot let that happen on defense and give them stuff like that.
See the penalties this season tab the most in the NFL. A loss of 1 on the play. Two tight end set. Kind of a half-hearted pump and holding the ball. Great coverage down the field. And maybe a pickup of 1. Kerrigan is there on Alex Smith along with Cofield.
Well, what he's doing there is you get a free safety, you're going to come out and try and pump him and move him, and then come back and get the other inside seam route. Watch him try and pump the safety, come back over to the other side, and he did move the safety, but he's looking for guys to run free. It's not going to happen. He's going to get the inside receiver here. You can see the inside receiver right there. You got to make the throw and let your guy make a play. You know, this is the NFL now. You got to let him play.
Boy, that's straight old school in-your-face press coverage. Boy, and Hall nicked up there. Brought back shades of one of the great ones. Redskins Darryl Green. That one's caught and then a hit. Lorenzo Alexander, boy, he's shaken up. He put the wood on Gordon, but Alexander is the one that's slow to get up.
And take a listen to this now.
Boy, you can see the right arm of Alexander go completely limp right there.
And those stingers, you know, that your whole arm, as you know, Ron, just goes numb, and hopefully it's not a shoulder injury. Hopefully all it is just that stinger, that sensation where you got needles coming down your arm, and that's all it is.
Yeah. But the entire side of your body goes numb, and it's more scary than it is anything else.
Yeah, and as you know, how many of those have you had in your career, right?
Gosh. Along with a few concussions. But the bottom line for the Browns here, that's a key first down. As we hit the sub-4-minute mark here in the first half. 3-point game. The Redskins started out slow but picked things up. They're working on 10 unanswered points now. Kirk Cousins a little slow out of the gate, but a nice job of play calling, coach, as you mentioned during the break, by Redskins offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan. Put a couple wrinkles in there, and it's been productive for the Redskins offense. There's a crosser that's complete to Gordon, and Gordon with another first down, pushed out of bounds at about the 46-yard line.
And what they've done is they've gotten off of one-on-one routes because he's not going to make the throw. So you go back with all this man-to-man coverage and run crossing routes, run guys running across the field and isolate linebackers on receivers and those kinds of things and make your money that way. You're going to come up with some bootlegs here pretty soon with this running game with Trent Richardson.
Gordon, former teammate of RG3 at Baylor.
There it is.
Got one in the corner. That's Little. Now all of a sudden, the youngsters for the Browns starting to wake up. 12 yards on the last reception, 28, and another first down on this reception.
Well, this is a bootleg, a half a bootleg. He pulls up in it, and he caught the Redskins is a changeup being in zone, and the Redskins have been so much man-to-man. It was the timing of the call was perfect, and he showed the ball and snapped it around, and that's what got those linebackers down out of the way and created that big hole up there.
A little second-year man out of North Carolina. A little wildcat here. Josh Cribbs back to his old tricks. Makes a nice move. He's inside the 20, inside the 10, and down to the 6-yard line. Finally brought down by Perry Riley.
When you're getting a lot of man-to-man coverage, the quarterback's not accounted for. So when he's back here, there's short a guy over here on that side. And when that happens, when you don't have a guy accounted for the quarterback, they're covering the actual quarterback, which is lined up outside. And that's why you love the Wildcat against man-to-man teams. You get a short number of defensive players to the point of attack where you want to run the football.
Put a nice move there on DJ Johnson. That's 16 yards. They're going to let it run down to the 2-minute warning.
And both teams have really done a good job here adjusting with your offenses.
Even Santa's happy about this one. 3-point game. Browns threatening to score. 2-minute warning. Browns flipping it over. Their first 6 drives, 63 total yards, but look at this drive alone.
And you can see one of my former defensive linemen there in the crowd, I think, with that.
Coach, that's the old school dog pound now.
Old school is right, boy. That's a nasty section down there.
And right now, they want to see their Browns get in the end zone. Play action. The throw outside, that's going to be about 3 yards short. That's Cameron, Jordan Cameron, hit by D'Angelo Hall, a pickup of 4.
And he's real quick with the ball. Any throw down here that gets you 4 yards is an excellent play. So this is what you call an inverted read. You come out trying to get the ball in the flat immediately. And one of the reasons why he was so quick in the flat, and you like to do that, especially with a young quarterback. It's good for his confidence to get that completion in that red zone area. They've not been very effective in the red zone this year.
Little across the formation. Richardson is in for the touchdown. Trent Richardson with his 2nd touchdown of the day.
What he's showing us today, Ron, is dropping his pad level and running behind his pads. And in the past, most of the season, he's been so upright, and it drives you nuts because he's so talented. But well, I tell you what, he's gotten his pads down today, and a little skip cut there and dropped his pads and ran over the defenders. Take a look here and see if he's in. Drop those shoulders, run through that arm tackle, another arm tackle, that his knees down. Can't see whether or not that ball's crossed the line.
That's the
key. You'd have to have a side look at it, but they may call this one back.
By rule, scoring play being reviewed.
Yeah, his knee's down. This might be on the 1-inch line, I think.
Unless the ball has crossed the plane of the goal line by the time the knee was down.
Yeah, the knee was down right there, and it's just where that ball was, like you said, Ron, in terms of that white line. They're reviewing it, obviously, all the scoring plays they do, and wait on the outcome of that.
Richardson has already set the franchise record for most rushing touchdowns by a rookie running back in a single season, eclipsing Jim Brown. And while we're waiting on this review, let's head out to Los Angeles and see what Kurt's got on tap here at the half.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime Show, we'll get you all caught up on a great day of action in the NFL, including a huge AFC matchup as Peyton Manning and the Broncos visit Baltimore, and Houston tries to bounce back against Andrew Luck and the Colts. We'll see you on the Visa Halftime when these guys will be working.
That's right, Kurt. Get them going. But Richardson has gotten it going today, hoping that this will be his 2nd touchdown. Came into the game a little under the weather, not feeling well, and had some bad ribs. Had the cartilage damage in his ribs. That's kind of been bothering him on and off. But, you know, rookies are going to go through that this time of the year anyway. They're hitting that rookie wall, as they say, and he's powered through it nicely.
I'm just really impressed with his lean when he's running. And again, he's just learning as a rookie some excellent habits as a runner and protecting that ball and running behind his pads, as they say. And I love the play calling here. They came out and showed him the ball and got a deep drag. Excellent drive for the Browns in terms of play selection. And I just think that that's where they're going to make money now. You either show it to Trent Richardson and pull it around and either drop back in a pocket off of action or get on bootleg.
Let's go out to Los Angeles and bring in our rules analyst, Mr. Mike Pereira. Mike.
Well, it all focuses on that left knee because the left knee is down. I think it's short, but there's no real shot right down the line, that they can really get it conclusive. But I think when you're looking in at it, when you look at the left knee, you almost have to conclude that he is short. But again, remember, so much weight is carried on what they rule on the field initially. And that's what they're going to have to take a look at.
That's a very good point. Mike Pereira, thank you.
Conclusive, I think, is the word Mike used. That's so important. They've got to absolutely be sure that the location of the ball was short.
After reviewing the play, ruling on the field is reversed. The receiver's left knee is down. The ball is short of the goal line. It's going to be second and goal at the half-yard line on the right hash.
So points taken off the board. Touchdown does not count. They'll mark it at the inch line.
What I think right now, I think you're going to end up giving the ball right back to them. They're getting such a great push down here in the red zone inside the 5-yard line. We've seen it twice now. They're really kind of knocking Washington off the ball. There's a discussion down in the field now over in the corner about the clock, I think. They get an explanation here to Coach Shermer.
Third down.
Okay, so we get it all worked out. The touchdown does not count. Ruled down at the inch line.
And I think you can see Trent Richardson.
And final timeout, Washington.
So the Redskins, in the midst of all this here now, end up calling a timeout, their final timeout of the first half.
And I would suspect the Redskins here, as they talk about this, as part of their defense to jump into that.
14 seconds.
Jump into the gap defense and see every defender in the gap and really try to shore this thing up. That's the only chance they got of stopping Trent.
Hey, there's a place not too far from here called the Hall of Fame, known as Canton. Joined the NFL in celebrating 50 years of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. In this golden anniversary, come to Canton and join more than 10 million fans who have made the pilgrimage to the birthplace of the National Football League. Visit the Pro Football Hall of Fame. For more details, go to profootballhalloffame.com. Of course, that was a great Jim Brown there you saw a shot of earlier.
How'd you like to tackle him?
No thanks.
He looks like he still might have a few yards left in him.
And right now, all the Browns want is about a half a yard to hit pay dirt.
Well, this is the man right there, and I'd imagine that he's going to get it again. They're really knocking him off the ball pretty good down here.
Richardson gets through the traffic and scores.
Looked like Lennon Fletcher had him there by the legs, and he ran right through it. My first impression, there's penetration there, and I thought it was London. Pulled the trigger and went right through the gap and looked like he was going to absolutely run right through there and wrap him up in the legs. Watch him fill right here. Looked like he had him, just didn't get enough arm around it, but it looked like ran right through all those arm tackles.
Richardson with his second touchdown of the day. And the Browns, after 10 unanswered by the Redskins, reclaim the lead 14-10.
I think, Ron, really the Taylors, both offensive coaches, have done such a terrific job adjusting to some changes on defense that I don't think they're really prepared for. I know that Cleveland is really surprised the Redskins with all this man coverage. And I think the result was they really struggled in that first series or two because, of course, this is what Kurt prepared for. But they've changed gears really well here in their play selection.
And I think both rookie quarterbacks showing a little resiliency here, which is what you have to do. Things aren't always going to be smooth in this league.
Well, and I tell you, Terry Bradshaw, I don't know if there's anybody better at doing that and coming back after tough situations like this and playing with a short memory.
So much said about the Browns and their situation, the coaching staff in question. New ownership here in Cleveland. Jimmy Haslam taking over for Randy Lerner. The team officially purchased in October. Mike Holmgren, the president here, officially out of the building, left about mid-season. But in the midst of all that, the Browns are still in the playoff hunt. And right now, up by 4 with 1 minute 11 seconds in the first half.
And we mentioned this earlier, but as you take a look here, they're 1-1 here and 1-0 over here. So they've got a heck of a spot that they're in right now. They've really poised in December to make a nice run at this thing, and that's all you can ask. You got to be playing your best football in December. And going back to what you said earlier just a few minutes ago about the Browns, when you look at the roster changes and what they've done and the new players the young players and the job of coaching that they're doing, I tell you what, my vote is to keep this group together because they're just going upwards.
No timeouts for the Redskins. 2-minute drill. Now for Cousins. That's Moss. Moss picks up 8. The slant inside. Morgan almost broke the tackle. Sheldon Brown on the coverage and the tackle.
And they're a little bit different defensively, I think, than they probably worked on, but they're just running their scheme now. He's doing a good job of the sense of urgency. Anything over 20 yards, you can burn that timeout and regroup.
Pressure, sack, held it just a little bit too long. Jaquay Parker.
And then you have to make the decision.
Yep, clock will run, no timeouts. They're going to let it run down.
Yeah, and you have to do that. You can't put it at risk now. You got to go in happy at this point of what the score is.
And Cleveland stopping the clock.
And the Browns really have showed some pressure here that, looking at the tape this season, I've not seen them do. Dick Duran has really done a fine job of overloading this offensive front and surprising the young quarterback.
Boy, disaster almost there for the Redskins. Cousins lucky to get back on that football.
Yeah, he took a real nice bounce in his behalf there, but that was almost a disaster.
Second and long, 8 seconds left. Yep, they'll just get out of the half. That's Royster. So the Browns will go in with a 4-point lead, 14-10. That's the end of the first half. Stay tuned for the Visa halftime report coming up after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Hey, be sure to follow your favorite NFL team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. 14-10 game as we get ready to start the second half here in Cleveland. The Browns in control of this one. Ron Pitts along with Mike Martz. And Coach, you talked in the open about how important third down was going to be for these two quarterbacks, and it has come true.
Well, it has. Unfortunately, Curtis has just got the one conversion out of 7. And I think that the big play for me in this first half was, of course, the interception, which set up a touchdown for the Browns. And again, if you take that back, then this is really going to be a struggle. But once he got past that, and I think a lot of it has to do with the adjustment by the offensive staff. And they've given him a better opportunity, I think, with some of the things that the Browns are doing defensively.
Let's go down to the third member of our crew. Standing by on the sidelines, Krista Voda. Krista.
Well, Ron, the Browns certainly had the momentum going into the locker room. Coach Shermer said that's not just beneficial for the scoreboard, but also for Brandon Whedon's confidence. He said, we're very impressed with our defense. Coach Shanahan agreed. Mike Shanahan said, we've got to be more effective on the run game. It's not necessarily that we need to run more, but when we do, we have to make it count.
Thank you, Krista. Boy, and a big one shaping up down there in Atlanta. The Giants getting throttled by the Falcons 24-zip. That's huge for the Redskins, being that the Redskins are a game out of first place. But as we said earlier also, Redskins need to worry about the team in front of them, the Browns, with the 4-point lead. And Cribbs bounced hard there at the 25 and taken out of bounds. And a look at the first half numbers.
Well, I think both teams aren't real good right now on third down. I think the Browns obviously got an edge. 3 out of 8, but 1 out of 7, they just got to come out and do a better job on and getting into a more makeable, talking about the Redskins now, more makeable third down situation. They've been an awful long ones. And credit the Cleveland defense and Dick Duran and for stuffing that running game for the most part.
Dick Duran, the defensive coordinator, a tough week for them. They weren't sure who they were going to see, RG3 or Cousins, 2 totally different styles. They got Cousins. And for the most part, they adjusted pretty well. Richardson with 2 touchdowns in the first half. He'll get maybe 2.
And I think in the running game, that's where you'd expect the ball to start most of the time. Like we said earlier, Ron, with the defensive structure that they have, they got 5 guys inside the tackles. And, boy, it's tough sledding inside there. So I think you can see the ball bounce outside an awful lot.
Officially a pickup of 1. Whedon 13 for 20. For 88 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Cousins 11 of 19 after starting 1 and 7. 146, a touchdown and an interception, and that one's picked off. Jackson will take it down to the 15-yard line. Rob Jackson with a key turnover, the first interception of the day here for Whedon, and it's a big one.
And I don't think he even saw him, to be honest with you, Ron. I think that as he comes off the fake, sometimes it's hard to see this. He's tracking the receiver pretty good at. You have a free hitter in there. In other words, just man-to-man coverage, but the backs don't get out. That linebacker can drop back underneath that, which he did. And once you see man-to-man, you got to take something off that and get it over that backer, or just wait just a little bit, and that's just experience.
3rd interception of the year for Jackson. Boy, he had a heck of a play last week against Baltimore. A sack, forced fumble, and a fumble recovery all in one play. Follows up here. Bootleg. He's got one open in the flat. Could walk in. Oh, and he gets pounded. That's Joshua Morgan talking it over with T.J. Ward. Boy.
Yeah, there's a lot of chirping going on as these teams run off the field before half, too. Take a listen to this this contact here. Boy.
Yeah, you saw that, right?
A terrific job of our guys in the truck here, both on the camera work and the sound.
Sheldon Brown coming over there, trying to get a piece as well. The boot out the backside. He could almost run it. Decides not to. Throws, and it's incomplete. Intended for Garcon. Joe Hayden on the coverage.
I think Joe got away with one there. Oh, boy, he had a hold of the jerseys. He's coming back downhill here. I don't know if you can see it or not there, but he's got a hold of it right there with that right arm, so he got away with one there.
A change for the Redskins up front. Number 60, Jordan Black, is in for Tyler Columbus at that right tackle spot. That's their first change of the season. They have been relatively healthy all year long. Downhill run. No, it's a touchdown. The whistles blow, but the line judge calls it a touchdown. That's Alfred Morris. Boy, things breaking again. Things getting a little chippy down there.
Yeah, and we saw, like I said, when they went off the field, both teams were really chipping at each other. And this is obviously a big game for both teams, but covers the ball up very well, pad level. He's a little bit high, and just surprised he's able to get in. He's so high there, but
right there, he reaches that ball across. No issue with the knee being down.
And to this point, he hasn't been much of a factor in this game yet. I would imagine this second half he's going to start showing up even more.
But give all the credit to the interception by Rob Jackson. Made it a short field. 3 plays, 15 yards, and 6 points. That was Washington's first red zone possession of the day. Extra point is clean. And another lead change. We're going back and forth here in Cleveland. The Redskins by 3 in a game that they definitely want to take without RG3. 17-14 Redskins. Quick look there at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This man is rocking and rolling. Rob Jackson with a big interception that turned into points. Remember, he's replacing the injured Brian Arakpo, who went on the injured reserve list back in week 3. Cribbs looking for a lane. He got a block. Boy, then goes chest to chest. And down at about the 28-yard line.
Let's take a look at this run, this interception again. You can see Jackson here. Now, the quarterback's vision is right down there. He doesn't even see him. They're man-to-man coverage. They're popping an extra guy back in the hole there. And he stared down that receiver. You just can't do that. He's just tracking him all the way. There's so many forms of man-to-man in this league. You cannot come out and just isolate that receiver and throw it. That's going to happen.
Boy, Coach, that's a tougher catch than people think. That's a hot one coming across the middle.
Yeah, he had some heat on him.
Seen linebackers drop that one. This is complete to Greg Little. Little avoids one. Fletcher and will be about 3 yards shy of the first down.
You know what I'd like to tell a young receiver like that is Greg's really an outstanding talent. But when you get the ball in the perimeter, get it up the field. The more time you wait there, moving your feet, dancing around, the cavalry's coming. You know, there's a bunch of hats going to take you out there. Just get up the field and get what you can.
They call it 6-7 officially. 2nd and 3 in movement. Redskins pointing to the Browns.
False start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
The rookie Mitchell Schwartz. Let's go out to Los Angeles and check in with Patrick O'Neill.
All right, Ron, thanks very much. Well, a play that will certainly make all Redskins fans smile. This is Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, and the Falcons on the way to going to 12-2, crushing the Giants 24-0. I tell you, the Giants have won 7 straight in Atlanta. Might not happen today. Ron, Mike, back to you.
Julio's taking him to the schoolyard.
Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. That's all music to the ears of Redskins fans. As they've got a 3-point lead here. And that's a play in the backfield there. Nice job by Reed Dowdy.
I think with what they're doing defensively, the Redskins are doing defensively, you're just kind of waiting for Brandon to get out on the perimeter with the ball. Bootlegs, Brandon Whedon, like what they're doing with, the offense, for the Redskins. You want to see him out in the perimeter off that hard fake.
Third and 9. Tipped up, intended for Richardson. Kerrigan, boy, he's made a couple plays, had an early tip in the first quarter. He's on it again.
You can see him right here. Now, I think this may be his second one, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, his second tip. So you got to negotiate that throw. You step up inside, duck, do whatever you got to do, but negotiate the defender.
Before 3 and out today by the Browns. 3 lead changes in this game. Boy, that's a squibber. And it takes a Redskin bounce. Will go out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. The Boo Birds say we did not like that 32-yard punt. Redskin fans saying we'll take the 3-point lead here in the third.
Well, it just seemed like he had a chance here on that third down throw. He worked off that safety, committed outside. He had an inside receiver. He's just off of it very quick. Talking about Brandon Whedon.
1st and 10, play action. Middle of the field, Santana, Moss, and Moss across in the Browns territory, finally brought down by Dimitri Patterson.
Yeah, take a look at this now. This ball's going to get tipped, but he comes off it. He sees the protection, I think, and got him off it right away. But there was a big play waiting to happen down the field had he been able to hold it. What's going to happen here, you're going to see the safety come all the way across, and now you got a receiver bending in the middle with nobody there, but a guy trying to hold him out of there. And so those are money plays. You can make those throws in this league.
Well, the coverage is there, but, Coach, I've heard you say a lot of times, sometimes you got to make a play with tight coverage.
Well, you do. We make reference to Michael Irvin. He was so good at doing that over the years where Troy could get the ball in position and just let him go get it over the head of a defender.
17 yards on the previous play. That's Morris going for about 6.
Yeah, but in Brennan's Whedon's defense there, I think that the pressure that he was getting off the right side there got him off it.
6 yards on that rush, the longest rush of the day for Morris. There's that boot. Man in his face, he's got another crosser wide open. Moss is still going. Santana Moss down to the 16-yard line. Took the hit, spun out of it, and kept on going. Joe Hayden thought he could just give him the old shoulder, but it's good for 20 and a first.
Well, this is so effective. This young man right here is going to create so much attention. They've committed to shut down that run, so all these perimeter bootlegs, and there has to be at least 6 of them that we've seen so far, and one of them was a touchdown. So everything is focused on stopping Alfred Morris, and the quarterback, this rookie quarterback, Kirk Cousins, is really reacted very well to it.
He's in his groove, isn't
yes,
he?
He is.
Slow start, but now he's got it together. The toss downhill. Morris is looking for the goal line. Tripped up, and he knows it at the 5-yard line, but he's got another first. That's good for 11-yard lines. Down to the sideline, and Chris Devoda.
Well, Ron, the 2 running backs, Alfred Morris and Trent Richardson, have known each other since they were 6 years old. You mentioned earlier in the game they played for rival Little League football programs in Pensacola. They also played for rival high schools. Richardson said Morris was so big nobody would touch him. Morris said Trent had calves the size of a grown man.
And they're both having very nice years as rookie running backs. Morris down to about the 3. Taylor on the tackle.
And that's their patented play. Now, they had a lead back in there, but nonetheless, it's still that play down the red zone. You can't spread the defense out. You do it with a fullback or a lead back in front of you, but you still are stretching, trying to create a seam sideways, and nobody does it better over the years than Mike Shanahan teams.
He did it out in Denver with a multitude of running backs. Not the best offensive line per man, but a very good scheme, and they run it to perfection. Looking to throw the middle screen, going nowhere.
You know what's so impressive about this? It's just how well disciplined this Brown defense is. You just don't see him get out of position. Really an outstanding job here off the edge here playing that screen.
Jabal Sheard made the tackle. Look at the hustle, the reaction.
Yeah, Jabal's not playing like a second-year player. You just saw the details of what they do on defense. That coaching staff is doing a great job.
Royster alone in the backfield. Joined by Hankerson. There's pressure in his face. He's got Hankerson, and he'll walk in. Touchdown, Redskins.
There's a lot to that play for that quarterback. That's just an outstanding throw. Wow. There's more to it than meets the eye. That looks simple. You got bearing down. You're on your back foot, fading away, and you just lay it out there. It doesn't get batted, doesn't get tipped. You negotiate with the angle of the throw. This young man looks like he's been playing for about 10 years in the last 2 quarters of play, basically.
RG3 not able to go today, looking on, approving the touchdown. That was Dimitri Patterson that he threw the ball over. 7 plays, 60 yards. 4th round pick. Everyone in Washington double guessed the move. Nobody's second guessing now. Redskins up 24-14. Cousins supreme on the drive there. 7 plays, 60 yards, and the guy they used to call Big Bank Hank at Miami. 17 games of his career before today, 1 touchdown. Today he's got 2.
You have to credit Kyle Shanahan for changing things up against that defense and calling an excellent game.
Bibbs on the move, past the 20, out to the 30. to the 33-yard line. Paul with the tackle. A nice return, but Cleveland's got a lot of work to do. Washington in a huge game with playoff implications, up 24-14. Hey, pick up your phone and call ** NFL to download NFL Mobile and get coverage of every NFL game this holiday season while you're on the move. 24-14, Ron Pitts, Mike Marks, Chris DeVota down on the sideline. 7:35 to play here in the third quarter. There's a slant and then some yardage after the catch. Greg Little will move across the 50-yard line. That's a pickup of 20 big ones.
And in this West Coast offense, as you know, Ron, your quarterback struggling a little bit. You go right to the bread and butter slant play, which is the core of everything.
Coach, what is the West Coast offense main principle?
Well, it's crossing routes, getting the ball out quick to receivers in the flat out of the backfield, slants like that, and it's not as much down the field as it is just very efficient, like runs out of the backfield.
And they like to stretch the field horizontally. That ball caught by Watson. Watson stacked up.
And listen to Bill Walsh talk about this offense. These flat routes, and we just witnessed another 5-yard, what they call stick route to the tight end. They're more or less pitch plays or perimeter runs, and every one of them should be completed. And he always talked about location of the throw. Let the receiver, the running back, run through it and get yards after the catch. And that's the big emphasis in the West Coast offense.
And that West Coast offense actually originated here in Cleveland. The originator, Paul Brown, used to run it back in the day. That's Hardesty. Hardesty will be about 3 or 4 yards shy of the first. He'll pick up 3. Again, a look at the remaining schedules, and that's big. Atlanta beating up on the New York Giants. The Redskins trying to get that one game back, moving to a tie for first place. The two teams have split 1-1, so we've got some great drama coming down the pipe here. Next week, the Redskins will be at Philadelphia. I know Philadelphia is struggling, but you can't sleep on anybody at this point in the season. Then they'll end up at home with a barn burner in Dallas. That one knocked away.
Well, I think he expected the receiver to clear a little bit, and he kind of pulled up. If you just let him clear, he might have had a heck of a play, and just a little patience. In that offense, you can see when he runs a slant route here, I'm talking about right there, there's an area right in there to get to, and he fooled the quarterback. He pulled up, and with young receivers and young quarterbacks, you got to get on the same page. That's unfortunate because that certainly was a big play. Going for it here on 3rd and 3, yes, it's a good call, and you're playing to win here. Everything's on the line. You just let it all hang out.
Play stopped. A timeout called.
First charge, timeout.
Timeout called by the Redskins at the last second. 4th down coming up.
London Fletcher, veteran linebacker, called timeout for the defense. Didn't like what he saw there in that 4th and 3 here right before the ball was snapped.
Wheaton in trouble. Turnover on downs. Redskins ball. Credit the defense. Ryan Kerrigan in hot pursuit, along with Cofield.
You know, talking to the defensive staff, the Redskins, or excuse me, the defensive players, they really felt like Brandon Whedon, as a young player, kind of gave things away with his eyes, and they're able to kind of jump things. And I think that's part of the issue here in this game is he's getting to his receivers with his eyes a little bit too quick.
Redskins defense coming in ranked 28 overall. They had issues on 3rd down, issues in the secondary, but they pick it up on that play, and it turns into a first pitch and catch, and a hot spin by Garcon. Quell Jackson took exception to it.
Well, they lost the game. Remember the Ram game, Ron? They lost a game like this with a receiver in his annex after play, and boy, you hate to see that.
There's the flag. 17 yards. Hayden on the coverage.
Josh Morgan, remember the Ram game, jumped up and had a little issue there with a player, and it ultimately was critical of winning or losing that game.
After the play, taunting, offense number 88. 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
Well, there you go, Coach. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that gets you beat.
Well, and he's got a young team. Both teams really are very young, but and Mike, you know, he's trying to teach them how to win. And those are the kinds of things that you just don't need. And there's a way of carrying yourself and going about your job, and there's just no room for that kind of stuff.
And for Garcon, I mean, he's a 5-year vet from right here in the area, Mountain Union College. Well, he decides to get the spin, and the spin costs him. That wipes out a 17-yarder. Two tight ends, they run to the two tight end side. Down to the pound and ground game. That's Morris. Phil Taylor with the tackle.
And I tell you what, it looks ugly. It looked like just a bunch of bodies in suspended in air there, but this is what they do so well. And you look up and it didn't look like much, but they've got a 4-yard gain.
You touched on this earlier. Morris talked about how he had to learn how to run in this zone stretch run offense scheme.
But there's no hesitation. You know, it's a one decision, plant, get your pad level down and go. And he can do all those jump cuts that really top-notch backs can do. And he does a good job of seeing things.
He said he had no real offensive line blocking scheme in college.
And I tell you, from a coaching standpoint, watching what's going on in the field, Cleveland is not allowing them to cut that ball back, and that's where you make big plays in this run. You set it, get the defense flowing, then cut it back, and they're not letting them do that. Really, Dick Teron in this game has been very impressive in terms of shutting Alfred Morris down in this run game.
A pickup of 3, James Michael Johnson, who replaces Scott Pagita, who's on the injured reserve list. To help make it a 3rd and 3. Pump and go. There's the flag. Intended for Garcon, and Garcon got his flag. Working on Sheldon Brown.
Well, Sheldon had to hold him for about 10 yards. I think it's a pretty easy call.
Illegal contact. Defense number 24. 5-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
I just love the aggressiveness of Kyle Shanahan with this young quarterback. Kirk Cousins, you can see him grab the 8 there and stretch it a little bit.
But you know, yeah, been in that situation before. I know that desperation. But
better than a touchdown, isn't it?
Coach, I got to tell you, though, you look at Pierre Garcon. He comes over here first year as we look at Kyle Shanahan, the offensive coordinator. Garcon with 3 straight games with a touchdown. He's very deceptive, a lot faster than he may look initially on tape. There's the cut, the stiff arm, and still rolling. Morris showing you a little of that strength. Didn't get a whole lot as T.J. Ward helped stack him up. Look at these guys. They're still going at it. But, Coach, that's the type of constantly pick at you that this offense, this run scheme does to you.
Well, they're trying to wear you down. And what Mike said last night makes so much sense with this run is you try to get that defensive front to wear down a little bit and not close those gaps off in the back end like they've been doing and lose their discipline. And Cleveland's just not doing it. They're staying in there and being very disciplined about it, not allowing the cutback.
So that's his way of wearing down a defensive front, run them sideline to sideline, and make them stay disciplined with the cutback. They bring secondary pressure. There's a throwdown. Is that a fumble or an incompletion? Looked as though it was a clean incompletion, but Bill Jackson talking it over. There's a late flag.
I'm not sure he didn't get bumped when he was trying to throw it. Let's just see here. No, he didn't get touched there.
No, they're going to call that an intentional grounding. See, try to bring that arm back at the last second.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 12.
You know what I love
10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
What I love about that is he turned and looked for that receiver and started to throw where he expected him to be, and he wasn't there, which means he has such a good feel about wherever he's supposed to be in the play, and whoever was supposed to be, and I don't know who it was, wasn't there.
Lost the down. 3rd down.
Okay, a correction on the field by Bill Vinovich. Loss of down on the play.
And you go back and look at that penalty earlier in the positions put this offense in.
Got Hankerson coming across the middle. He doesn't see him. Goes to his check down. That's Royster. Royster well short of the first down. Nice open field tackle there by Dimitri Patterson.
You know what's so impressive right now about Kirk is he's so decisive. You know, he sees he's off it or he stays on it. He can turn his back to the line of scrimmage with a nice play fake, but he wants to get that ball downfield here.
Look at Hank.
Just doesn't happen the way he wants. He feels the pressure and comes out of there. Now, he didn't have to look at that rusher to know that he had the pressure. He just felt it and got outside. He's really been impressive.
Rocca at the 40. This will be a fair catch ball. Iwan secured at the 15. Boy, a lot of stuff going on after the play out here.
The boys are going at it, aren't they?
January 4th, one of the best bowl games of the year is on Fox. Johnny Manziel, the first freshman Heisman Trophy winner, leads 9th-ranked Texas A&M against number 11 Oklahoma. The AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic is January 4th right here on Fox.
You know, this team came out on such fire the second half. And of course, they went in doing a pretty good job, but really the second half until that last series, they were really playing well. You got to think that they're fully aware of what's happening with the Giants.
I got to believe you're right. Redskins will back off, give it some room. It's man-to-man coverage. And somebody won. And that was Greg Little.
That's what you want to see Brandon Weeden do. You want to see him stay in there and make those throws because he can. He's a very gifted passer. His skill set is really outstanding, and the more he plays and the timing with these receivers, the better it's going to get. He's got a heck of a future. He's just got to work through some things.
12 yards. Wilson on the coverage. Play action to Richardson. He's got one wide open. That's Cameron. Cameron across the 50 and out of bounds in Redskin territory.
And this will serve them so well. Turn around, showing that ball now to Trent Richardson and getting those linebackers snugged up there, and it's going to free these guys up in those zones. There just isn't anybody underneath it. There's so much respect for that guy right there. Watch these linebackers, how tight they are. And now you get him running in a zone where the linebacker really should be.
Cameron, the 4th-round pick out of USC last season. That's 28 yards and a first ball spotted at the Redskins' 43-yard line. Play action again to Richardson, holding it. And that was picked off. London Fletcher.
Unfortunately, he just underthrew that. It's just a bad throw. He had him. It was going to be a big play. He just held it an awful long time. He just kind of wants to track receivers a little bit, as they say. And he's just struggling through that rookiness, I guess, about it. He's just got to get his eyes out in front and get that ball out there quicker. And you can see as he comes out, this play fake is what you want. But here's that window down here that he's going to get into, and you can see he just underthrew it by a large extent.
London Fletcher with his 4th interception of the season. Remember, he's back home from the area here. And he told us in this defense, this 34, which has been tweaked a little bit, Coach. It's not necessarily a pure 34.
Right, exactly.
He said he's got much more pass responsibility. That time, he makes it pay off. Morris.
Well, in the thing about London is because the alignments are keeping the guards off of him, but it puts pressure on him to cover the tight end man-to-man, and that's what he was talking about. He said, I only feel good for 3 hours during the week, and that's during the game.
We mentioned earlier, undrafted into the NFL from local John Carroll University, playing in his 238th consecutive game. Grew up a Cleveland Browns fan.
Yep. I was surprised they didn't have a parade when he came into town and got off the plane here. He's got so many people that he knows and are at this game.
2nd down and 6, throw inside. Boy, that was a tight window. It's incomplete. Hayden giving Garcon an earful.
I tell you what, that's playing quarterback right there. He put a vapor shot on him and put him only where you can put it and complete it, and you just got to come up with those catches.
Coach, you get mad at your quarterbacks if they started to get conservative on you, huh?
Well, you know what? When you decide to make a throw, that you can bring a guy back from his aggressiveness, but it's hard to get a guy to be aggressive with his throws and confident. You know, you want them to be aggressive, and you like to back them off instead of trying to work the other way with it.
This is a 3rd and 6, winding down here in the 3rd. Cousins with time. Paulson has got the first. He works across midfield.
You know, you watch his eyes here, the quarterback's eyes, switches all the way to the other side here. Just did a great job of scanning it.
19 yards, and that's the end of the first. Redskins up 24-14. Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Fourth and final quarter here in Cleveland. The Redskins up comfortably 24-14. We just had a big pass play to Logan Paulson. That one was good enough for the first down. It's a 3rd-year man out of UCLA. 1st and 10. Play action, Cousins. Boy, what a quick release. He got that ball out of there. And this time, no talking by Garcon.
You know, I would take a look at this run. Take a look at the quarterback, Kirk Cousins' eyes here. All the way to his left, doesn't like what he sees. He's got to get all the way back over to the right and hit a receiver that's on the run sideways, and he just throws it out there sidearm and hits him right on the numbers. And this is confidence and seeing things and reacting. This young man so far has been very impressive.
Pass play for 15 yards, getting his first NFL start for the injured RG3. Back to the ground game in Morris.
And I think that you can see there now they're starting to get a little bit of that cutback off that stretch play we're talking about.
RG3 came out, got a lather going in pregame warm-up. The medical staff for the Redskins says, nope, you sit down. This will be Cousins' game. And as he told us last night, he said, hey, this is my team. I want to play, I want to start the game, but it's not my decision.
Well, I think Kirk Cousins make a pretty good statement by himself here today. I think there's a good argument for the way he's playing. You know, one of the things that hats off to Mike Shanahan, I think the one position in football, the biggest factor is the quarterback position can hold an entire team hostage. You really need 2 quarterbacks, you really do. And so you have such a dynamic young quarterback in RG3, and you know, Mike padded it, so to speak, and hedged his bet with another selection, and a quarterback he obviously really liked and didn't want to pass. And you know, people criticized him for it, but he's been doing this a long time and very successfully, and obviously a very good choice.
3rd and 2. They'll throw it, the safe turn route, and it's a first down. Garcon.
And he just stuck that right on his face mask.
Cousins' numbers on the day, solid. A rough start, but he's picked it up. 21 of 32, 261, 2 touchdowns. He had the interception early in the day, Coach, and it looked like it was going to be a rocky game, but he was able to reverse it, pick it back up, and I think that was largely due to the play calling of Kyle Shanahan. And they have lived on this bootleg. Cousins showing he can run, and runs down close to the 5-6 yard line.
And it's the second time he's run with it off that. And going back to talking about Kirk Cousins, the thing to me that shocked me is how calm he is, his eyes, how he's worked his eyes, but he really has got velocity in the ball and the accuracy. And the interception he threw, I had argued that, I mean, he threw it just where he had to throw it and where he's supposed to throw it. And I just think that we just didn't win on the run out there. And sometimes that happens, but it wasn't a bad throw or a bad decision.
Morris inside the 5. Boy, he just keeps on chugging.
Well, and this is, remember our discussion with Mike Shanahan last night with this play where you're stretching it, and this is that point in the game, as he said, on defense, where those cutbacks are going to start showing up, and they've not been there up until now. Now we've seen it happen twice.
And you can feel the Redskins up front just starting to lay on them, as they say in the NFL.
Absolutely.
That means they're applying pressure and road grading the defensive line of the opponent. Royster, the switch, and Royster will walk in standing up for another Redskin touchdown.
And really all these runs have been the same concept, stretch, 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 and now the cutback seems to start to develop because those defensive linemen are getting tired. You can see here, he's going to get some penetration right here, but that penetration ironically opens up a cutback lane for him. If you don't make that tackle there, there's going to be a seam right there that is going to open up.
Lichtensteiger there with a turn block. Back. Good. 31-14, 11 minutes to play here in Cleveland. A chance for the Redskins to move up, a share of first place in the NFC East on the line. Two key interceptions by the Redskins defense today. Jackson along with Fletcher. Those both led to scores.
And Ron, the secondary is healthy again. I think that's a big factor because they had not been playing past 31st in the league up to this point. They've showed up today for sure.
They've kept Cribbs contained today, and that's always big. 21 unanswered points now for the Redskins and their other hot rookie, Kirk Cousins. 11-14 to play here in Cleveland. 31-14 Redskins.
And I think what's lost in this game to some extent is how good this offensive line really is, and the defense. You know, they've been put in some pretty tough situations, but they've responded relatively well.
Jim Haslam's defense has done a nice job. The UFC on Fox continues December 28th on Fuel TV with live weigh-ins for UFC 155 and December 29th with UFC 155 prelims on FX. Saturday, January 26th, the UFC will be back on Fox. Rampage Jackson and a host of others giving you all the action. Boy, I tell you, speaking of UFC action, the helmet off, that's Rob Jackson doing the honors, and that kind of sums up the day for Whedon and this offense.
Yeah, he's just real tentative, I think is the word to use for him right now. He's very tentative, just doesn't look real confident. He's going to be an excellent player. I don't think there's any question about it. He's so skilled, but he's having a hard day today.
A loss of 4 on the sack. Jackson credited with the sack. Going man to man, he's got a man! That's Travis Benjamin, and Benjamin will score. They gave up the ghost late.
You know, all I gotta say is good for Brandon Whedon. That's what you want your guy to do, is come back like Kirk Cousins did and come back and make a play and turn it loose and just sat on the route.
Travis Benjamin, the AFC Special Teams Player of the Week, because he had a 93-yard punt return for a touchdown versus Kansas City, the longest in franchise history. He strikes here. That's the 4th-round pick out of Miami.
Good for Brandon Whedon. You know, the one thing that the coaching staff had mentioned, too, is just how fast this young man is, Benjamin.
He beat DJ Johnson. Whedon put the ball on the money. And that's what happens in this league. You go to sleep 1 second in the secondary, and they'll toast you up.
Well, it's just good for Brandon Whedon. You know, and he stuck that ball right on him. Made it an easy catch for him. Just how you got to throw it.
10-point game. Just over 10 minutes to play. Every time Travis Benjamin touches the ball, something good happens. 21 total touches, 402 yards total. Average per rush, 11. Average per reception, 14. Average per punt return, 49. And now he comes up with a big touchdown that keeps the Browns in this game. That's Royster, and Royster spins out to about the 25-yard line. Back.
Let's take the touchdown here, Ryan. Take a look out here. This corner's on an island. It's basically a zone dog, and he has him completely from his position all the way outside. He's peeking inside. They have not thrown the ball down the field yet. And he runs right by him. He's guessing is what happened. He just, because there's pressure, they tell those DBs that we'll get to him. The ball's going to come out quicker, and he can kind of sit on this thing a little bit. Well, they sat and went right by him.
Play action, the quick throw. And Kyle Shanahan won't take his foot off the gas pedal. That's Joshua Morgan, the team's leading receiver.
Don't you just love this?
I know you do.
The hair on the back of my neck stands up. I just love this to call it with Kirk Cousins. Letting him play, man. Oh, his back is completely to the line of scrimmage. He turns around. I just don't know, viewers, if you realize how hard that really is to come around and turn around and get him crossing the field. And because you have to find him, first of all, and then throw a ball to a receiver crossing, which is hard enough in itself in a drop back.
32 yards. The toss to Morris. Morris had to string it out a little too much. Couldn't find the spot to cut it in. Let's go down to Chris Devoda.
Ron, a couple of players not on the field right now. Redskins lineman Tyler Columbus, he is out of this game with a concussion. He's your normal right tackle. Also on the defensive side for the Browns, TJ Ward, strong safety, he is questionable. His return questionable due to a knee.
All right, Krista, thank you very much. Yeah, we mentioned that Jordan Black had stepped in earlier there right before the half.
And TJ Ward is the guy that the Browns, that they talked about coming up and supporting the run that they were concerned about.
2nd and 6. It's all about the ground game. Morris. Boy, Morris went helmet to helmet, but he keeps on moving. Boy, he went through 3 tacklers. He'll end up about 2 yards shy of the first, picking up 2.
When they're run this play so far, and I don't know what the numbers are on it, but just about every one of these stretch plays have gone into the boundary. And they have these field blitzes, so you're bringing a safety off the wide side of the field to stop that cutback that hurt him in the series before.
Crowd's getting into it here, sensing the last chance now this series maybe for the Browns defense. 3rd and 4 play action, the dump to Paulson. He'll get the first and then some.
You know how good that was. You know how good that was by the quarterback. I mean, you got to look at this thing. He's out to his left side. You got a rusher right in front of him. And he just lays the ball over there. Just not many guys have a feel for that kind of thing. They're playing that position. Just lay it over the rusher. What a big play. It's just, the little things that he's doing so well that are really difficult. Just very impressive.
Cousins now 23 of 34 for 303. Just cracked the 300-yard passing mark. Toss. One cut. Missed tackle. Boy, twice missing the tackle there was Jaquay Parker on Morris.
You know, and this is nothing more than the stretch play, but they're just tossing it. But it's just, like you said, Ron, it's the same concept. Make the defense run, but you can see they just keep working it into the boundary. A lot of that has to do with the safety being aligned to the field, so they're trying to run away from a defender in the secondary that's hard to block. So the number count, so to speak, is in their favor into the boundary. That's why the ball keeps going over there.
Whether it's Terrell Davis, Alandis Gary, Mike Anderson, it doesn't matter the back. In this run scheme, the results seem to be the same.
But they make it very simple for them. It allows them.
Play was stopped. He fumbled the ball, but let's check the flag.
Ball start. Offense. Number 66. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That's Chris Chester, and the Giants have lost to Atlanta and lost big. That means with a win here, the Redskins will move into a share of first place with 2 games left.
Well, and I promise you the sideline knows that. Somebody down there is, you know, and it energizes this group. It gives them that extra shot, too, to know that. And I think that's very important.
Redskins with a game lead in terms of division wins. That could come up big in the event of a tiebreaker. That one caught. That's Moss. And a pickup of 4. And I think another point here, Coach, I know the game isn't over yet. I don't want to slam the door yet, but the Redskins proved to themselves, proved to everyone that they can go out and play well without their top draft pick, RG3.
And really, up to that interception the first series or so, they gave up 7 points starting down right away on the road. For a young quarterback, that can unsettle you. And he's to bounce back like they have, and Kyle Shanahan and play selection has just been perfect.
3rd and 8, wide receiver screen to the man that can move. He fumbles the ball, loose ball. It's still loose. The Redskins may have recovered it. The last person I saw touch it had a white shirt on, but let's see. With 5:30 and counting. Boy, it's a mad scramble for the ball right now. Santana Moss losing the ball. Tell you what, a lot of things get pulled under that pile, Coach.
Well, they're told, they're coaching. You may not have the ball into the pile, but I've had several guys say, I never had the ball, but I got it away from it.
That's right.
That's happened a lot on onside kicks.
This is a huge possession, and it retains Redskin ball. And I believe a first down.
Well, I think you have to look where the ball came out. You need to look, first of all, where the ball came out, because you can't afford the... It goes back to the Raider-Charger game years ago.
Yeah, Garcon had it. He was the guy I mentioned, the white shirt that I saw touch it first. Jabal Sheard, as you look at Garcon. Boy, what a pickup he's been. Talk about a guy bringing energy, and you talked about that locker room. And we were concerned about the Redskins locker room this week, after the drama with RG3, not knowing if he was going to play.
I think this is something that Mike Shanahan's worked on the last few years. He's worked hard at getting the personalities that he wants in that locker room, and sometimes it takes a year or two to achieve that through the draft and free agency, because Tony La Russa and I used to talk about it all the time. First and foremost, the most important thing on the team is your locker room.
Morris looking end zone, touchdown.
That's the cutback off the stretch again. But going back to the locker room issue, I can't emphasize this enough. No matter how much ability you have, the temperament in that locker room and the leadership is incredibly important. And without that, you'll always underachieve. And if you get the right personalities and the energy level in there where it should be, and it's a very difficult thing to know and deal with, but when it's right, there's nothing like it. Then everybody's sitting on all cylinders. I think Mike has really achieved that. You can see that enthusiasm in this football team.
2 touchdowns on the day for the rookie Alfred Morris, as the extra point is clean. 8 plays, 76 yards. Almost a heart stopper there for Redskins fans with the fumble, but they get it back and just about seal the deal with 5 minutes to play. You see the plays, you see the yards. They dodge the bullet with the fumble, but they get the score for Washington. 5 second-half possessions equal 4 touchdowns. That's pretty darn efficient.
And again, we said earlier that stretch play, Mike Shanahan, the 4th quarter, they're starting to get those cutback plays that he talked about. And it was tough sledding early.
Cribbs out to the 30. Johnson on the tackle, out to Los Angeles, and Patrick O'Neill with an update.
All right, Ron, thanks a lot. Well, the New York football Giants were leading the NFC East before today in Atlanta. Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the day, 34-0 shellacking over the Giants. Later today, the Cowboys host Pittsburgh, and you could have a couple of teams, 3 teams at 8-6, but Redskins in good position with the tie break. Back to Ron and Coach Marks.
That's right. Redskins in perfect position to move up into their share of first place. That ball just a little high, intended for Gordon. And for Atlanta, they've got the win now. If they get a Green Bay loss or tie, that means Atlanta will clinch a first-round bye.
Atlanta at this time of year is a team that has had a tendency to fade. And for whatever reason, and to come out after that disaster they had a week ago against Carolina, they've made a statement today.
Check down to Richardson. Richardson with a nice move. He'll get stacked up about 2 yards shy of the first down.
It's really important right now for Brandon Weeden to keep his energy level up, be aggressive in how he talks to these players, show confidence. Don't be discouraged. They're looking to him right now. They want to see how he reacts to this thing too, and it's very important what he does in this series.
A pickup of 9, Perry Riley on the tackle. 3rd and 1, held it too long, and that's a sack. Right down the pipe, Barry Cofield, and he's got his dance.
He just, I just beating him up a little bit on this, but he's just so tentative, and I think that's the word for him. He just doesn't want to let go of that ball, and he's got to give those receivers a chance and have some confidence in it. Good bad things are going to be happening in that pocket. You can't ask the offensive line to hold out to forever like that.
Hey, come on, Al.
This is 4th down. And incomplete, and that pretty much sums up the Browns' day intended for Greg Little. And that will be a turnover on downs.
And Ron, I was having breakfast in the hotel this morning. Some Redskin fans were down there, and they were really upset about starting a rookie quarterback and what's going to happen. We were in great shape, and they were just absolutely distraught. And the way this has turned out, you couldn't have written a better script for things to start off the way they did. And you just got to heap praise on Mike Shanahan for really his foresight in the draft, and Kyle Shanahan for the ability to adjust and give him some simple plays to have success, and how well this team has played overall. Defensively, they showed up in the secondary big and made some stops.
And they'll put it on the ground and work on the clock. Well, Fox tomorrow, from the creators of How to Train Your Dragon, comes the broadcast premiere of Dragon's Gift of the Night Fury. Then the original cast of Ice Age is back for a mammoth Christmas. Don't miss the holiday fun tomorrow on Fox. Coach, I know you will definitely be glued to the TV for that, as a timeout is called by the Browns. So now we revisit the decision, and we'll talk about that decision not to play RG3 right after this. Redskins trying to close it out.
You all right? You all right? Hey, if you're not right, get down.
Ron, I think when you look at the decision everybody was so concerned about, obviously Mike sees Kirk Cousins, Mike Shanahan sees him every day in practice and has more knowledge about how well he'll play than any of us. And I think that you just got to stick to your guns in this. And I believe that early in the week, I really believe that somewhere around Wednesday, the decision was made, and you're doing the right thing by the young man to make sure that he's healthy. And yet,
Cleveland,
the
30-second timeout.
I'm sorry, the confidence that you have in this player. I think that's so doggone important. The statement to the whole football team really is, you know what? He can do it. Otherwise, you got Rex Grossman. You can go with a veteran player who's played well at times and arguably would do a good job in there as a starter in this game as well. But what a statement to start Kirk Cousins ahead of a veteran like that. The decisions, the coaching decisions, that's why he's been so successful for so many years. And you think Mike Shanahan's happy about these two quarterbacks and the running back that he has in that draft class?
And like I said, the entire city second-guessed the decision. They wanted to know why you would waste a draft pick on a quarterback when you've already got a top quarterback. Well, here's an example, and maybe he figured in, as you alluded to, I've got a guy who's going to do a lot of running. There's a chance he may take a shot, and we need to have somebody capable to get us out of a game, through a game, and win the game looking pretty darn good. And that's exactly what the Redskins have done today, and that's Paulson. Paulson coming up big here in the second half.
He just fit that ball in between two defenders. It's at the end of the game, and he hasn't backed off one iota. I think going back to what you said earlier, Ron, about the quarterback position here in drafting RG3, I think when Mike Shanahan looked at it, I really believe when he drafted him, they fully intended with Kyle Shanahan to run some option and put him in at risk more or less. And I really believe that came into the decision. I don't know this, but I kind of suspect that went into the decision to draft Cousins when they did, to hedge your bet, so to speak. And I think it was a very very sharp decision on their part and withstood the criticism, and he wasn't disappointed, that's for sure.
Now the question is next week. Okay, we saw him run around today. We knew he was inactive there at the time. We watched him run around, but he's got a noticeable gimp there on the knee.
Well, he does.
What do you do next week?
You can rest him all the way to Wednesday now, and then you just reevaluate at that point. But right now, the confidence of this football team, and I said earlier about the quarterback position can hold any team hostage, and you just can't let that happen. And Mike's done a terrific job of making sure he understands he's got a real good young football team that's talented, that's learning how to win, and don't put that in jeopardy by just having one. You know, you have two good, actually three quarterbacks that can play and win with, and you know, this is obviously why he's been around for so long, does such a good job as a head coach.
Trying to end the playoff drought. The last playoff appearance, 2007 for the Redskins. It's been a while. And finally above 500 in December for the first time since 2008. Well, a lot of firsts, and Redskins fans are waiting to exhale. And that is the 2-minute warning here in Cleveland. It's been the Kirk Cousins show. And they're looking for a share of the NFC East. And a look at our game summary. It's been the Captain Kirk show. Regardless of how it started, it's sure ending well here in Cleveland. They'll switch it up. Darrell Young. He'll get a carry. Today's game is produced by P.T. Navarro and directed by Jeremy Green. The associate director is Sharad Devasker. The broadcast associate, Mark Mason. Our technical producer is Matt Benedict. And the technical director, Damon McGavick. And special thanks to our statisticians, Mitch Smith, Jason Thornberry, and spotter, Seth Jacobson. Great job, everyone down in the truck. Some really nice pictures, and of course, the patent of Fox Audio all day long. 4th and 1. And adding insult to injury, the Redskins will pick up the 1. The Redskins today with the largest margin of victory in the series. It spans 62 years and 45 games. And Mike Shanahan taking off the headset, knowing that's a wrap.
Well, and you got to feel good about how well they played here heading into the end of the season and potentially the playoffs, obviously. So how they played is just as important as the fact that they win, and they really were just absolutely stunning in this game.
Redskins will go to 8-6 in a tie, first place in the NFC East. They will go to Philly next week, and then they'll have Dallas for the home finale. Coach, any last thoughts?
You know,
Redskins doing business right now. Bonus coverage.